Two AI agents, same prompts, totally different brains. Today we're putting Manus AI and ChatGPT Agent head to head in a real world battle of intelligence. First up, Manus AI. Think of it as a pre-trained task-specific agent that's tightly optimized for structured workflows. It's fast, snappy, and great at staying on rails. Then there's ChatGPT Agent, OpenAI's more general purpose assistant with broad capabilities and deep integrations. It's flexible, multimodal, and can think on its feet across a wide range of tasks. But which one actually delivers when it's time to execute? To find out, I'm giving them 3 identical prompts back to back and comparing their performance on speed, accuracy, and utility. Let's see who comes out on top. All right, prompt number 1. I run the company CoinLedger. I want to replace the design agency I use to design images for all of our blog posts with you. I want you to analyze all of our blog post titles and the images they correspond to found here. Then I want you to create an image for a new blog post that I'm working on titled, What the Big Beautiful Bill Means for Crypto Taxes. The image you create should match the style, dimensions, colors, and branding of our existing blog library. So before we get going, we're going to click to start the timer, and we are going to submit that to the Manus agent. And let's go. All right, so you can see, I understand you'd like me to take over image design for your blog post at CoinLedger. I'll analyze existing blog post images, then create a new image. So what Manus does is it starts by creating a to-do list. It does this for every task. And then it ticks through the to-do list that it creates for itself and kind of self-judges itself as it goes. So here you can see it's open a cloud browser on its side and is indeed on our blog URL, and it's analyzing all of the header images that we use for our blog post. So it lets us know, you can interrupt me at any time during my work to provide new information or adjust the plan. Right now, it just looks like it's trying to see what images our blog consistently has. All right, now it looks like it's come up with kind of a style guide or like a context prompt for what style our blogs are typically generated in. So this is kind of the building blocks of CoinLedger's blog post images, and now it's creating a new blog post images matching the established style. So now it's generating the images. So it's still thinking, here's the image for the new blog post. Let's start the timer. That's 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Here's the image for the new blog post. It's not terrible. We can compare that, like I said, to the actual blogs. It's definitely not on brand, right? We would not actually use this. It doesn't follow our color scheme. The characters are off. The icons are not consistent with how we create. The image is coherent. It makes sense. It's also not in the dimensions of our blog. We have 800 by 420 pixel dimensions, which are a little bit weird and hard for some of the AI image generators to get correct. But it's okay. So overall, I'd give this a 5 out of 10. I'm impressed with the speed. Obviously, it did get the contextual nature of the image correct, but we would not be able to use this on our production website. Next up, ChatGPT Agent mode. So we're going to select Agent mode. We're going to paste in the exact same prompt word for word, and we're going to kick it off and restart the timer. All right, it's going to set up its desktop and get to work. All right, so it's coming back. It said, absolutely, I'll analyze the titles and images of all blog posts on your site to understand the style, dimensions, colors, branding used. I'll begin researching the blog library now and come back with my findings before generating the new image. Similar to Manus, it looks like it's now spun up a cloud browser. Here we go. We can see that it is indeed on our blog subfolder page on the CoinLedger website, and it's now investigating the individual blogs to understand, hopefully, the style of the images for the one that it needs to create. So it's cool that it does show the user what it's thinking and what it's doing. So, it just mentioned that it's analyzing this image and how it relates to the blog post. It's slick, it's engaging, the UX looks very good. So it's continuing to do the same, click into blogs, try to understand the image as it relates to the contents of the post. It definitely is taking longer than Manus, but that might not be a bad thing, as if the output is better and it's taking more time, more test time, compute to think and reason, perhaps that's a good thing. So we'll see. All right, so now it looks like it's learned the style of CoinLedger, or at least it believes it has, and it's starting to generate and iterate on potential images for this new blog post. So you can see it kind of has developed a prompt for itself of reverse engineering these images. So flat vector illustration with dark blue, teal gradients, bright yellow, gold accents. Scene shows two diverse characters representing a big, beautiful bill. Use wide 16:9 aspect ratio. So it looks like it's learned the style by going to our website, taking a look at all of the existing images and trying to reverse engineer the prompts that would lead to that output. And now it's using that same type of prompt on a new title as I gave it. So let's see what it comes up with. One thing to keep in mind is we're now at 12 minutes. So it's already, almost 5x longer than Manus. So this is cool. It just popped up a message saying I'm going to generate a new prompt. The last one included words in the image, which, as you can tell by our blog images, we don't have words in the images ever. So it self-corrected itself and is iterating on its own prompt. So that's pretty cool. All right, this is interesting. So now it's saying it's noticing the aspect ratio of our blog post, like I mentioned, it's weird. It's 800 by 420 pixels, and it just said I'm going to now crop this photo to match the dimensions that they need for the blog. So that's super interesting. ChatGPT's image generator does have limitations. It can't produce images in just any custom aspect ratio. It needs to be one that it's already supported, like 16:9, which is more common. And so it looks like the solution it's using is going to generate a photo in 16:9 and then crop it to 800 by 420. So this could lead to some wonky results, but let's see. All right, and it is just finished. Here's the new hero image. So honestly, pretty impressive. It took 17 minutes, by the way. Pause on that. And again, we probably wouldn't actually use this image, but it's pretty dang close. It doesn't nail the brand colors in our palette out there, but it does get the vector style. The iconography is pretty spot on. The colors are off, and the cropping thing is weird. But overall, pretty good, and I have to give the award on this task to ChatGPT Agent. Prompt number 2. You are an expert sales representative for the Recap AI, an AI media company. I want you to identify the most likely prospects who would want to advertise in the Recap's daily newsletter, which covers the AI industry. Come back with a list of 5 companies and 3 individual prospects and their contact information for each company. Put them in a CSV file that is easily exportable. And here we go. Let's kick off the timer and let Manus do its thing. So as it always does, it generated its to-do list. Research the Recap AI to understand their newsletter audience. Nice, it makes sense. Identify target company categories, research specific companies, research individual prospects and their contact information, compile data into CSV format. So you can see it is indeed on our Recap AI newsletter website where you can sign up for free. Shameless plug, you should. And it's studying that. I've gathered information about the Recap AI and its newsletter. It emphasizes concise daily AI news without fluff. Yada yada. Next, I will analyze similar newsletter audiences to better understand target demographics for prospect research. Pretty cool. All right, so it's on to its next step. Identify target company categories and research specific companies. I confirmed the Recap's audience. I found recent content targeting a tech-savvy readership. My next step is to research companies and individuals suitable for advertising, then gather their contact information for outreach. So now it looks like it's on LinkedIn. So it's gone to LinkedIn and it's trying to find relevant people. So you can see I found top AI companies like OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and it's now gathering folks from those companies, which is a bummer because in reality, while those companies may want to advertise with the Recap, I would more target SMB and mid-sized companies that are a little bit easier to get in front of than a mega conglomerate. So yeah, we can see it's compiling data from OpenAI, Microsoft, etc., which is not ideal. I wouldn't actually want to prospect into these companies for this advertising opportunity. Okay, and so it just came back with the CSV file of the identified prospects. We can view it here. Honestly, this is pretty wild. So OpenAI, prospect name, prospect title, and the contact information. Now, it didn't nail the contact information every time, but for most, it looks like it did. Actually, it looks like it did. It just got the columns wrong at times. Honestly, I'm impressed with this. That is really cool. I haven't run this prompt before. Now, like I said, I wouldn't target these large companies, but I'm sure in a follow up task, I could say, hey, I don't want to target these massive conglomerates. Let's more target startups, SMBs, and let it work from there. So, overall, that's really cool. Let's jump over to ChatGPT Agent. By the way, before we jump to the next task, wanted to let you guys know that you should join our AI automation mastery school community completely for free. We break down the workflows and agents that we're building to run and automate all of our businesses. Just like this one, this AI agent runs our 100K media company by generating newsletters, short form viral videos, tweets, LinkedIn, all generated through AI. So join this community, check out these videos, download the automations for free, and join a like-minded community of people who are all automating all of their businesses with AI. So we'll see you over there, and let's get back to the video. And now it is ChatGPT's turn. So same prompt, let's let it go. So as always, it starts out by thinking about the task, and we can see that is what it's doing here. Different from Manus, it doesn't explicitly show us what it's thinking about and what its steps are going to be. So I don't know if it's using the same kind of checklist approach. Before I start compiling the list, could you please specify if you have any particular geographic regions or industry segments you'd like me to prioritize? Interesting. Focus on SMB and smaller prospect companies. So I like that because, as I mentioned, for Manus, I just let it be free bounded, and it came up with output that actually I would have wanted to adjust. So I actually think that's pretty nice that it's asking me this up front before it goes and wastes a bunch of resources on a task that might not be perfectly suited to what I want. Understood. I'll definitely compile the most relevant SMBs and smaller companies in the US. And here it goes. Let's watch it run. So right now it seems like it's pretty quickly going to find people and their contact information. I haven't seen which companies it's deciding to target or how it's decided that, but we'll see what it comes back with. I see. It looks like it's focusing on this company, People.ai. Not familiar with it. Not sure how it decided that that was a suitable prospect, but we'll see. Now it looks like Fireflies AI is another one that it's looking for. Again, not totally sure how it landed on these companies. All right, that was pretty cool. I saw as it's trying to find the contact information for Fireflies.ai prospects, it mentioned that it's going to follow the email format that it read in Product Hunt comments. So that's pretty smart. I'm sure it found someone at Fireflies.ai email in some Product Hunt comment, and now they're just associating that format with the prospect themselves, which is exactly what a human sales rep would do if they're trying to find an email address manually. All right, looks like it's on to the next company now, Compose.ai. So far, this is impressive, though. These companies actually do look like more likely candidates for advertising, at least in my view. So we'll see what it finishes with. All right, it looks like it has gathered all of the information and is now preparing the CSV file. All right, here we go. Took 15 minutes. Here's the CSV file containing 5 small and medium US AI companies that are strong candidates to advertise in the Recaps daily newsletter. The one thing I'll say is, why does it think they're strong candidates to advertise in our newsletter? Like, has it seen them advertising in other newsletters? That'd be a strong signal, or on other AI media properties. Let's download the CSV file. All right, and here we have it. So prospect name, the role, their email. Looks like sometimes it did just have to go with the generic email found on the website. Actually, oftentimes it did not actually find the individual's email. Interesting, and it's also including where it found the contact information. So that's pretty interesting. Again, it took 15 minutes, And overall, I'd have to give the winner for this task again to ChatGPT Agent. It was nice that Manus was faster in this case because I could rip off a whole bunch more requests. But overall, I think ChatGPT's was slightly better. Prompt 3. You are an expert web designer and developer. Build me a simple Netflix-style website used to display my resume and work history, included below. Use inspiration and the same style from the viral tweet found here and copy this format. So overall, I saw this tweet on Twitter or X the other day, which was this girl who turned her resume into a Netflix style
instead of scrolling
website
through bullet points, you're browsing formed my boring resume into a Netflix style website,
which is pretty sweet. So I want to see if Manus and ChatGPT can do this. So let's go ahead and prompt this. I also gave it kind of a fictitious resume of me that it can use. All right, and submit. I will build a Netflix-style website to display your resume and work history inspired by the provided tweet. This will involve creating a web page that mimics the layout and styling of Netflix content display. I will do the following. So here it's generating its to-do list, research viral tweet inspiration, and Netflix design patterns. Plan website structure and design approach. Create responsive HTML, CSS, JS website with Netflix-style design. Test website functionality and responsiveness. Deploy website and deliver final result to user. Okay, that's insane if it actually can do that. I have not run this prompt before this, so the reaction is very genuine. Okay, so we see Manus is researching the viral tweet. It's pulled it up, it can see it, so that makes sense. Page layout includes a video element, profile info, and interaction buttons. Okay, so now it's developed a prompt with the design notes that it's likely going to include when it tells itself to build this. Yeah, so it's building the prompting required for itself. All right, now it's on to planning the website structure and design approach. And so that's what it's doing with this prompting. So overall, this is insane how fast this is going. I am very impressed with the speed of this tool. It's extremely snappy, it's quick. And so yes, ChatGPT has had slightly better output on the other two tasks, but this is pretty insane with how fast this is doing this. All right, so now it looks like it's testing the functionality. You can see it here. Pretty insane. It's clicking around, making sure things work. That is wild. I can't believe that's possible in like 4 minutes. It looks like it's running into an issue. So now it's trying to troubleshoot the issue that it's run into. All right, now you can see it's fixed the navigation here a section. So it's going through its checklist and seeing what it's all implemented based on the prompt that it built for itself in terms of what it had to do to create this site. That is pretty crazy. All right, boom. I've successfully built your Netflix style resume website, live website. Let's check it out. No way. Wow. I didn't give it any of this information. It pulled all this. I mean, this is awesome. This is so cool. It's obviously not exactly like the viral tweet whatsoever, but I'm still pretty impressed. This is a live URL. It deployed this. It's a cool design. You could definitely say it's Netflix-y style. So overall, I'm very impressed with that. It was fast. It only took like 7 minutes. Let's go see what ChatGPT can do. All right, same prompt for ChatGPT. You are an expert web designer. Build me a Netflix-style website used to display my resume and work history, included below. Here we go. Understood. I'll first review the viral tweet to extract aesthetic. Then I'll design and build a Netflix-style website featuring your resume and work history. The final product will be a simple modern web page. Do you want this presented exclusively as a website or also styled into a PDF? Say sure. Let's do both. All right, so it seems like ChatGPT likes to ask some clarifying questions up front, which to be honest, I think is smart. Again, it hones in to make sure that it's going to try to do what I want it to do, and oftentimes things are ambiguous. So I think that's smart that they have it ask these clarifying questions up front. Great, I'll create a Netflix-inspired resume website reflecting the style in the viral tweet and also generate a PDF version. It looks like it's already jumping into building the code that will power the website. All right, so it looks like it already pretty quickly spun up a coded version of the Netflix website. We'll see what it does from here. Wow, that was super fast. Worked for 3 minutes. Here's your Netflix inspired resume site and PDF. The site uses a dark background with red highlights and card-like sections, mirroring the feel of Netflix browsing interface. You can host it by extracting the archive and serving the index HTML file. So I have to give it to Manus on that because it actually deployed, this is Manus's, the site for me. This is essentially explaining how I can host it, but it doesn't do it for me. Let's see the resume.pdf. So honestly, this isn't great. This is just like a normal resume. It's just using Netflix colors. So overall, I definitely have to give this task to Manus AI. It actually built a fully responsive website, deployed it. Now, I don't know what ChatGPT's looks like, but based on the PDF, it's going to be pretty bare bones and just following the color scheme. So Manus AI took the cake on this task. All right, and there we have it. So ChatGPT Agent took 2 of the gold medals. Manus AI took 1 gold medal. All in all, they're both very impressive tools, and I'm sure they're better at different tasks. So play around with them, see what they can do. And lastly, before you go, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and like the video and leave a comment. We're not charging a dime for this content, and we're trying to build a community of AI enthusiasts and folks who want to bring AI to their businesses to help make things more efficient, help automate tasks. So hit the subscribe. We're going to be dropping a ton of more helpful content in the future, and we hope to see you there. So see you in the next video.